Hello and welcome. You're watching Unplugged TV India. This is Alice Francis. Let's begin with today's top stories. Rajiv Gandhi assassination convict gets bail after serving for over 32 years in jail. Ukraine crisis could disrupt India's spending plans. Economic recovery, says experts. Hijacker of 1919 Indian Airlines flight that killed a 25-year-old man shot dead in Pakistan. Britain bans landing of plane connected to a Russian billionaire under new aviation sanctions. US imposed ban on Russian oil energy imports. Air alert issued in and around Kyiv as Russian invasion continues. Russian-Ukraine foreign ministry likely to meet in Turkey amid crisis between the two countries. South Korea elects a new leader to combat COVID, rising property prices and inequality. Floods on Australia's east coast will be declared a national emergency. Supreme Court granted AG Perarivalam, the assassination convict of Rajiv Gandhi, bail on Wednesday, saying the court believes Perarivalam is entitled to bail because he has already served more than 30 years of his sentence. The court stated that the bail will conditional on Perarivalam's compliance with the trial court's restriction and that he must report to the local police station on every first week of every month. According to Additional Solicitor General K.M. Narataj, Perarivalam has previously benefited from a mercy petition once. His death sentence was modified to life 2014 by the Supreme Court. A hijacker of Indian Airlines aircraft IC-814 was killed by unidentified gunmen in Karachi, Pakistan on March 1. More than 2 decades after the tragic incident took place, the family of victim Rupin Katyal, who lost his life in the incident, finally achieved justice. The Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist was living under a false identity, Jahid Akhund, for many years. He was reportedly shot twice in the head by unidentified gunmen in Karachi's Akhtar colony on March 1. With the killing of Ibrahim, only 2 out of 5 Jaish-e-Mohammed hijackers behind the incident are alive, including Ibrahim Azhar, elder brother of Masood Azhar, and Rauf Asghar, the 2 kingpins of the globally designated terrorist group. Rupin Katyal, the victim, was brutally murdered by Zahoor Mistry on December 25, 1999, and his body was retrieved from the hijacked plane in UAE. He and his wife were returning to Delhi after a honeymoon in Kathmandu when the plane was hijacked. India is likely to rank among the emerging economies worst affected by the Russia-Ukraine crisis as a surge in global prices of commodities is said to upend spending plans and derail its pandemic recovery, analysis say. If the conflict lasts, India, which imports close to 85% of its oil needs, is likely to see its fiscal surge in crude oil prices to their highest in more than a decade. Britain impounds a plane connected to a Russian billionaire under new aviation sanctions. It is now a criminal offense for anyone to fly or land in the United Kingdom, as Britain has confiscated any plane linked to a Russian billionaire that allow authorities. According to the officials, the move also prohibits new US investment in Russia's energy sector as well as American participation in any foreign investment that flows into the Russian energy sector. Biden further said that the decision today is not without cost here at home. Putin's war is already hurting American families as the gas pump. I'm going to do everything I can do to minimize Putin's price hikes here at home. Meanwhile, Biden has pledged that no American troops will fight in Ukraine. He expressed America's support for the Ukrainian people and predicted their ultimate victory. On Wednesday morning, an air alert was issued in and around Kyiv as there is a possibility of a missile attack by Russia. Ukrainian residents are being told to get to bomb shelters as quickly as possible as Russian troops continue to march closer to sanctions of Ukraine. Mariupol on the coast of the Azov Sea has been ringed by Russian troops for days. and a humanitarian crisis has erupted in the city of 430,000 people. A Ukrainian official has said that Russia and Ukraine have agreed on a day-long evacuation corridors to help civilians escape the war. Thousands of people, both civilians and troops, are believed to have been murdered in nearly 2 weeks of combat across the country. Russian forces have been met with fierce resistance that expected from the Ukrainians in some regions, especially near Kyiv. And meanwhile, as the war entered its second week, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will meet with his Ukrainian counterpart Dmytro Kuleba in Turkey this week, as tensions between the two countries continue to rise. This comes after the third round of talks between Russia and Ukraine to end the current crisis ended without a resolution on Tuesday. Russia has gained less and struggled more than expected 2 weeks into its campaign in Ukraine, the worst planned combat in Europe since World War II. However, as they advance on important cities, the invading force of more than 150,000 troops retains significant and probably decisive firepower advantages. According to the Pentagon, Russia retains around 95% of its fighting capacity in Ukraine, after accounting for weapons and vehicles destroyed or rendered useless, as well as men killed and wounded. On Wednesday, South Koreans went to the polls to elect a new president who will shape Asia's fourth largest economy, which is rivaled by gender and generations divide square off with a belligerent North Korea, and steer the country's expanding global standing. Floods on Australia's east coast will be declared a national emergency. The floods that have wreaked havoc on Australia's east coast will be declared a national emergency, Prime Minister Scott Morrison announced on Wednesday as authorities scrambled to get help and supplies to the worst affected districts. Thank you for watching Unplugged TV India. Please hit like, subscribe and share. This is Alice Francis signing off.